most famous physical therapist on the internet.
Hi folks, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Hundt, physical therapist.
And together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course.
Speaking into an orange, here we are. Today we are lucky again and honored to have Vince, the organic farmer, with us. Vince just did a recent video with us, and now he's come back, and we're glad to have him.
And what's going to be about?
We're going to talk about how eating the wrong food can lead to obesity, and very much true, as we've seen in the last 50 years, I would say.
Right, you know, I think what Vince is going to talk about is going to open up a lot of people's eyes and realize what they're buying at the store and what they think they're getting and what's really going into their system are two different things, and it's going to change the way you live and it's going to help your health.
Wonderful. Okay, wow. Vince, why don't you let her roll here?
All right, thank you very much. First of all, I'm a farmer primarily. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a doctor. I have got my opinions on food, but I've educated myself, and I've fed animals for many, many years, and I've fed my soils for many years, and just have learned a few things along the way. And in the last...
We'll vouch for this. He's very, very knowledgeable. He knows what he's talking about.
Well, he's very, very modest.
Yeah, because he puts most nutritionists I know to shame.
Well, in the last, I'm a farmer, and I like to refer to myself as a food farmer. I raise food to feed people, and so I want it to be good, and I want to be part of making people healthy and thriving. I mean, a lot of farming these days is just about producing corn and soybeans to make gasoline, and you know, I don't know what that's all about.
Sure.
But so what is good food? What is bad food? And you know, in the simplest terms, good food that'll make you healthy and cause you to lose weight and things like that is simple whole foods. Actually, the fastest growing food chain in the country is Whole Foods, and rightfully so. A lot of people know quite a bit more about nutrition than they did 10 or 15 years ago.
Yes, they do. I would agree with that.
And if you eat whole foods, the whole experience in your body, in your whole microbiome, is completely different than processed foods. One of the things that I would encourage everyone...
Vince, can you just tell us what a microbiome... Biome, right?
Right. If you look at, for example, soil, a teaspoon of soil will have stupid numbers, you know, 000 forever, billions of living things in it. That's the soil's microbiome. It's bacteria, it's something called archaea, it's fungus, it's just all kinds of things. There's lots of stuff people don't know what to call it. I mean, but it's completely alive, and they're all interacting with each other.
Living organism, city, whatever.
Right, and it turns out, if you look really closely, the soil and the microbiome in your stomach are made up of millions of symbiotic relationships. You do this for me, I'll do this for you.
Sure.
And there's unbelievably complex and beautiful exchanges of nutrients. You give me some phosphorus, I'll give you some magnesium. You give me some sugar, and I'll give you some nitrogen. You see plants growing out there, and this relates to our stomach, but you see plants growing out there. A green plant, it's got chloroplast, and it's got oxygen from the air, and it's got sun's energy, and it produces carbon, and it produces sugars. The sugars go down into its root system. It uses some of it to grow. 30% of all the sugar that the plant produces, it gives away to the soil microbiome. All these different bacteria run off with their sugar, their nutrient, and in return, they give the plant what it wants. And if that deal doesn't work, somebody gets cut off.
Sure.
Your whole digestive system in your body is very, very similar. Over millions of years, our human microbiome was built around learning how to digest and take apart some of these simple foods, like an apple, like an egg, one of the more perfect things you can possibly come up with, like milk. And it causes a steady, slow release of nutrients to keep your body going and feeling healthy and energetic. Mm-hmm.
So you got to keep your microbiome happy.
You got to keep your microbiome happy, and you do that by feeding yourself a diet that is consistent with our human past, our human history. It takes thousands and thousands of generations to develop something, and you can't change it overnight.
And we've gone off the path, haven't we?
We've gone off the path with a lot of processed foods, donuts and things like that, which are pretty much pure sugar. And when they go into your body, into your stomach, your stomach begins to break them down with hydrochloric acid, goes into your small intestine, and instantly, this little thing of ding-dongs here is 26 grams of sugar. That's twice as much in this apple, okay? The apple would take an hour for your body to digest it, an hour and a half.
Sure.
If you ate these donuts, in 5 minutes, your blood sugar is going to go rocketing straight up.
Which is not good.
Because it goes right into your small intestine, right through the wall of your small intestine, because it's just sugar, pure sugar. There's no work to be done by your microbiome. It's just bang. A good analogy, if you want to go camping, Bradley loves to go camping, I know that. You build a fire. You want to build a nice fire, okay?
Right.
You want a fire that's going to last a few hours, and you start out with some kindling, but you put some bigger stuff on there, and pretty soon put some nice big stuff on there. That's going to burn for hours. If you eat a potato and an onion and an apple and drink some whole milk, it's like that. It takes a long time for your microbiome and everybody in that long chain from top to bottom to do their job and pull apart the proteins and pull apart the carbohydrates and slowly feed your whole system. It's like a nice, steady, glowing fire. Just grow long and steady and slow. Sugar, this is not just a good analogy, but it's literal.
But by the way, Vince, if you're new to our channel, we haven't done this today.
No, yes.
Yeah, please take just a second to subscribe to us. Subscribe button's to the right of Vince here. We provide videos on stay healthy, fit, and pain-free, and we upload every day. I thought it'd be a good time for a commercial.
Now you're breaking into
Now you're breaking into the sugar.
So here we have some pure
Pure
granulated
sugar, pure granulated sugar, and which is what we have in here. This has got what did I say? 24. This has got 26 grams. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a half. That's how much sugar is in this little ding dong thing here, and that's going to go right into your bloodstream.
Poof. It's
Poof.
gone.
And that's a poof is perfect. The analogy with the campfire, it's like a campfire where you have a little cup of gasoline. You throw the gasoline on the fire, going woof.
It's gone.
It's hot. It burns bright temporarily, and then it goes right down to cold again. And the only way to keep it going is more gas.
Vince, can you tell us some of the surprising things that have sugar in them that because you did this on another video. You talked about that chocolate milk and how much sugar that has in it. I mean, to me, that was just shocking to me. I mean, because here, a lot of people think this is a healthy food to drink.
Right.
I mean, healthy.
Because it says milk, it says chocolate, but they forget to bring the fact out that this has more sugar than a can of full-strength Coca-Cola.
Well, we don't have a can here to read the label on it, but I mean it's about the same sort of deal. I mean, if you go to the convenience store and you see all those colorful bottles of stuff in there,
sure.
The only one that's probably really going to be good for you is the water
one.
The water one down at the end. It's just because, well, first of all, with this milk, and I'm going to probably get in trouble with the dairymen in the country, but it's 1% fat. And the reason that people have, for thousands of years, I mean, humans have lived with cattle for at least 6,000, 7,000 years, 8,000 years. In the caves in France, with the drawings on the wall, they have found cheese-making equipment.
Oh, no kidding.
They have. It's been that long. So there's been this relationship between the cow and the human. And
so we have the microbiomes that...
Absolutely, the bacteria and everything in your body
that.
to digest that, and for all those thousands of years, people just drank whole raw milk, up until about 1950, very recently, when the whole process began to change, and there's no culprits or nothing evil here. It's just that American ingenuity and your worldwide ingenuity learned how to process food so you could ship it, so you could get it to people cheaper and things like that. Right. And with milk, they began to homogenize it, and then they pasteurize it and homogenize it. And the homogenization takes all the fat and pulverizes it basically, and now you can also just extract it very easily from the whole milk. If you take whole milk right now, it goes to the big factory in the sky and they take everything out of it. They take milk and they take the protein out of it, they take the fat out of it, and then at the end of the assembly line, they reconstitute it. And they'll put this back in, that back in, call it 1% or 2% or 3% or whatever.
But it's a sugar drink.
Well, the
So-
thing is, after you've done this, after you've homogenized it and pasteurized it and taken everything out and put 1% fat in, it doesn't taste like anything. It's like white water, but not very good water.
Right.
And so to make it tasty again, we add in some sugar. While we're at it, let's add a lot of sugar.
Sure.
And because the more sugar, the better. If you're about 7 or 8 years old, right?
Right.
You love sugar.
Exactly.
And then a little
You're talking
chocolate.
about the chocolate milk.
The chocolate milk,
Right.
a little chocolate and a lot of sugar, because this does have this does have 12 of these teaspoons of sugar in it, and that goes into your stomach, goes into your small intestine, and immediately into your bloodstream. And so what happens to that sugar in your bloodstream? Your sugar's too high.
Yeah.
Well, it's too high, and so your pancreas has to go squirt insulin into your blood
Sure.
supply, and the insulin is a hormone, and this hormone binds with the sugar, and now the insulin's job is to find a place to get rid of this sugar, and it converts it to fat, which is a magic thing. I don't know how it does it, but it puts it right into every cell in your body until the cells can't take it anymore, and now fat cells are created, and they're stuffed full of this sugar. The pancreas is producing insulin. The insulin is binding with the sugar and is putting it into creating these fat cells. And the fat cells initially are right around here, and you get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And the worst of it is every time
That's what we're seeing.
Every time you take a hit like that, your glycemic
sugar
index goes
goes
way
way
up.
up.
The pancreas has to inject the insulin, and the insulin does its thing, and the pancreas does over and over and over again. Imagine the guy in the cave 4,000 years ago. This happened maybe 3 times a year when he was bold enough to stick his arm into a beehive and pull out the honey.
Sure.
That was the only time he ever got that kind of pure sugar. So your body is not prepared to do this. It's not equipped to do this.
Sure.
It's just throwing gas.
It's interesting because in 1950, and they were all skinny, every one of them. This is from Winona, the area,
Yeah.
and I mean, and I'm like, everybody in that video is skinny, and now in 1950, here we are, the 67 years later, and you go down the street and you're lucky to find thin people.
Right. Yeah. It's a different story.
Yeah, it is.
And I think this whole diet, going down to the grocery store, picking up things that have tons of sugar that you aren't even aware of, or your body just craves it because it becomes
It's addictive. It is.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
As interesting as this is, I'm afraid we're going to have to cut this off, Brad.
Oh, my
Remember, we can
goodness.
fix just about anything
Except for
a broken heart.
right. But Vince, I'm thinking maybe something here.
I think
we
Vince can help us do this
What
thing.
do you say?
Well, this might win her heart.
Thanks a lot.